All right, welcome to my car. We recorded this yesterday for the waiver wire to get y'all covered, but technical difficulties did not allow that to happen. So here are your waiver wire targets for week 8. First up, we got Desmond Ridder. He has been seeing an increase in his passing volume lately. He had 47 pass attempts in week 6, 37 in week 5. Did see a little bit of a downfall in week 7. But the Falcons were in a pretty neutral game script that entire time. He has a very beneficial schedule coming up, so look for him to continue a bit of a hot streak for Desmond Ridder. Next quarterback on the docket, we got Derek Carr. Brought him up last week during waivers, and he didn't disappoint. Had a QB1 performance, not QB1 overall, but a top 12 QB performance on Thursday Night Football. And he has another 3 great games, all defense in the bottom 12 against stopping the quarterback. Look for Derek Carr to continue a little bit of, a little bit of a hot streak here coming up. And he's going to get Juwan Johnson back in week 8, adding yet another target for Derek Carr. At the running back position, we have Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson had a solid game. He does seem to be pretty much splitting work with Royce Freeman, but he ran more routes than Royce Freeman did. And after Dallas in week 8, he will have Green Bay in week 9, with Kyron set to miss at least 3 more games, as well as Ronnie Rivers. Look for Darrell Henderson to lead this backfield, hopefully come up with another touchdown in week 8 and 9. Our second running back target, we have Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary, little bit questionable. I wouldn't be putting in a waiver bid for him, but I would pick him up. I do think he's rosterable. He saw the highest snap percentage of his season so far in week 6 before the week 7 bye for the Texans. I do think that he is a better pass catcher than Dameon Pierce, and if he's out on the field more, he might start seeing some more consistent targets going his way. Houston is top 8 in the league in terms of passing percentage. Look for Devin Singletary to start getting a little bit more involved. Again, though, don't burn waiver priority on him. If you can grab him for a $0 fab bid or pick him up after waivers run, I would go and do that. All right, so moving on, we do have Royce Freeman as well. He ran at a higher yards per carry than Darrell Henderson did. Darrell Henderson was under 4 yards per carry, which is a tiny bit concerning, but it's his first game with the team. He hasn't been with them for a while. Royce Freeman he was at least on the practice squad. So Royce Freeman, he had 5.5 per carry. No targets though, however. So again, another guy that I would not spend any waiver priority or burn waiver priority or spend any fab on, but might be worth adding to your roster if you are looking for some running back help. Our first wide receiver to target is Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne had 2 good games in a row. The Patriots 2 weeks ago, they did say that they want to make a change in their offense. Since then, Kendrick Bourne, a couple of good games in a row, a couple of weeks where he had over 10 targets. I think that Kendrick Bourne, if there is going to be a wide receiver to target on the Patriots, it's Kendrick Bourne. Right now, he's running by far the most routes on the team. He has over 200 routes run. The next closest was Devontae Parker, around 180 routes run, I believe. After that, the next closest was Juju, who has under 100 routes run, and Demario Douglas. Both of those players have 14 receptions for under 200 yards. Again, look for this offense to operate through Kendrick Bourne in the passing game. Our second wide receiver to target, and he's only second because he's rostered in a good chunk of leagues, Josh Downs. Josh Downs, he is rostered in just over 50% of sleeper leagues. However, he is under that 50% threshold in both Yahoo and ESPN leagues. I would go give him a shot. Right now, Gardner Minshew, he loves targeting his slot wide receiver. Josh Downs is running 83.5% of his routes from the slot. That is great. Minshew, he doesn't take shots downfield nearly as frequently. I saw that in 2019, he had a ADOT of 7.9 yards. In 2020, it was 8.5. Those were the last 2 years he had over 300 passing attempts. So look for Minshew to stay the player that he is. He's a solid game manager. He's going to keep his team in it, but he's not super aggressive downfield. And then this will bring us to our last target. It's a tight end. Finally, a breakout game for Dalton Kincaid. We saw Dalton Kincaid with 8 receptions on 8 targets for 75 yards. And Dawson Knox just recently reported that he has a wrist injury. The time he'll be kept out is indefinite at this time, but that's still going to be good for Dalton Kincaid moving forward. At least for the next couple games, we'll see if he gets more and more involved. I do think that he and Gabe Davis might take turns having decent games. Might be a little bit hard to predict, but again, he's got the physical talent. There's a reason why the Bills took him in the first round. So go and grab Dalton Kincaid if he's still sitting on your waiver wire. I'd be comfortable spending up to 10-15% of my fab to go out and get him. That's going to do it for the waivers this week. Next week, probably won't be in my car. Fingers crossed. All right, have a good one, you guys.